My husband John, 32, and I, 30 female, married 2 years ago. I'm John's second wife. His first wife, Isabel, passed 9 years ago. At the time, she was 7 months pregnant with a baby girl who they planned to name Rose. John blamed himself for what happened. He had to go to therapy for a long time to recover. He still talks about Isabel sometimes and has pictures of her in the house. 5 months ago, I found out I was pregnant. It wasn't planned, but John and I were still thrilled. A few days ago, I went to an ultrasound appointment and it was revealed we're having a girl. We've been throwing baby name suggestions around for the past few days. However, he came to me this morning and said he finally knew our daughter's name. Isabel as a first name and Rose as a middle name. I was taken aback for obvious reasons and asked him why. He looked at me weirdly and said it was to honor his late wife and daughter. This was surprising to me since we've talked about having kids before and he's never mentioned wanting to name our kids after Isabel or Rose. I told him I wasn't comfortable naming our child Isabel Rose since it would feel like we were trying to replace them. He kept trying to convince me and said that it would be like his late family could live again through our daughter. But I just want our daughter to be her own person and not to feel like she's growing up in the shadow of two deceased people. John got mad and accused me of forcing him to act like Isabel and Rose never existed. I said that that wasn't true and that we would still talk about them and remember them with our daughter, but he said the best way to remember them would be to name our daughter after them. He also called me a hypocrite because I suggested my sister's name, my sister is alive, as a middle name. I said that was different because our child would still have her own unique first name and I only suggest it because my sister is planning on being a loving aunt. Finally, he called me disrespectful of the dead and said that he wasn't going to change his mind. He went to our room and hasn't come out. I consulted my family and friends, and while most agree I'm not the idiot, a couple of them say John is grieving and I should just let him name this kid and I can name the next one. One friend, a therapist, even said that this is John's attempt to ease his guilty conscience and that refusing the name could make him spiral into self-loathing. I've also started to get Facebook messages from people I'm assuming are Isabel's family. John most likely told them about the situation, begging me to name my daughter after Isabel because they want another way to memorialize her. I hate to disappoint her family since they're grieving too, but I still don't want to. Am I being selfish? Am I being the idiot? Not the idiot. Your daughter is a child, not a memorial to the dead. Why would anyone think it's okay to put that load on your daughter? Your husband needs to return to therapy, just not your therapist friend. It seems you, OP, are the only one thinking of your child. Yes, but I hope OP doesn't give in to this emotional blackmail by her husband, Isabel's family, especially reprehensible in my view, and a few of her friends. Just think when your daughter learns that she's named after two dead people and meant to memorialize them, she'll think, I would, that she was created only to be a living memorial to two people long dead. It would hinder her development as an independent human and probably send her to years of therapy. He sounds like he's trying to recreate his old family, whether intentional or not. It's not healthy and not fair to you and your daughter as individuals. They all need to heal, but OP's baby is not theirs and not for their healing. This family has nothing to do with the baby now. Poor people have been stuck in grief for 9 years. My God, block Isabel's family. They only have your contact info because your husband gave it to them, specifically to harass a pregnant woman into naming her baby after a dead woman she never met and a fetus. This should be one of the first things you discuss in couples therapy. I can guarantee it will go further than that. OP's husband will likely take the child to meet his late wife's family, and it will create boundary issues if the latter's wife's family starts acting like this is the grandchild they never got, or a daughter like the one they'd lost. OP, I think if it's possible to stay with family or friends for the time being, you should do so. I, male 46, have 2 little sons with my ex. I got engaged to my fiancée, female 22, recently. She loves my sons and has a fantastic relationship with them. My sons also love her. However, she's made it clear that she doesn't want to be a parent to my sons or babysit them, which is okay because they already have 2 parents. My ex and I are co-workers and both have a job that requires us to be away from home a lot. Last weekend we both had to go to another city. None of our usual babysitters or family members were available. As a last option, I called my fiancée and asked her if she could babysit my sons for the weekend, and she agreed since there was no other choice, but said she was still not going to act like a parent, which was okay with us. My ex's parents called the day after we left and said they could have the boys now. I called my sons to tell them, but they begged me to let them stay with my fiancée. I talked to her to see if she was okay with it, and she said yes, so I told my sons they could stay with her. We went back home and everything seemed okay. My sons claimed they had the best weekend ever, and my fiancée said they didn't bother her. Sure, they ate junk food all weekend, didn't do any homework, stayed up late and other things like that, but it was just a weekend, so I thought it was no big deal. Yesterday, I started getting calls from my ex-in-laws calling me an idiot for leaving my sons with someone so young and irresponsible when I could have left them with them. My sons have told them about their fun weekend, and they were very angry. They even somehow found my fiancée's number and texted her calling her different names. Am I the idiot? You are the idiot. I'm not even going to touch the fact that your new fiancée is literally less than half your age and has no experience under her belt yet. If she's your fiancée, she will be an adult figure for your kids. What kind of person dates someone with kids and openly says, I'm never going to parent them? I'll tell you who. People who shouldn't date parents. And who should single parents date? I'll tell you, not people who refuse to have anything to do with your kids and have asked to babysit as a last resort. Holy cow, you're more interested in this whirlwind romance with a girl who's more interested in her youthful freedom and financial stability than your children. You're looking like a bad father here. Like, really bad. Midlife crisis much? Kind of yuck. They're engaged and she's 22. He was chasing her when she was younger. At best, she's indifferent to the kids, and at worst, she's neglectful. Why would you want to marry someone young enough to be your child is beyond me, and why she would like to marry someone with kids if she doesn't want to be involved is also confusing. I hope you enjoy your 3 kids. OMG, they had 1 weekend of no homework and junk food. Someone call the cops. The in-laws are just mad they didn't get their way. She sounds like a fun auntie, if anything. It's not that serious. I'm sure Granny and Grandpa sneaked them extra sweets and let them get away with stupid stuff, as grandparents should. Other than her not feeding them vegetables and not doing homework, what exactly did she do wrong this weekend? The in-laws started engaging in idiot behavior when they texted OP's fiancé with insults. That most likely was not specifically related to this weekend, but their hostility with OP as a person and the ex. OP, their hostility to you is probably well earned since you're a 46-year-old man engaged to someone who could be your daughter. So you are a major idiot just for being in this relationship and what it indicates about how you view women. I, 34 female, have 3 kids, tween, pre-tween and kindergartner. They're from 2 different fathers and neither is very involved in their lives. Please don't judge, I made very questionable choices regarding men in my 20s, but I got some amazing kids out of it and I wouldn't have it any other way. I've been dating my current boyfriend, 35, for 3 years, and he moved in with us about 8 months ago. He's been an amazing father to my kids even though they aren't his. My boyfriend and I have been trying to plan a vacation for just the 2 of us for months now, but between our work schedules and the kids, it's been tough to get something that works for everyone. I thought we planned a week away for the 2nd week in July, so I started making travel arrangements. But then my boyfriend's work situation changed, change in ownership, and he can no longer make the trip. So rather than rescheduling everything, I invited a friend to come with me instead. Since I didn't want to leave my boyfriend in charge of my kids while I was away, I asked my sister to come and stay at our place to help. She's on summer break from college and currently staying with our parents, so she jumped at the opportunity. I also told her I'd pay her. When I told my boyfriend my plan, he got angry at me. He was apparently under the assumption that I would cancel the trip and we would reschedule. I told him I never said that and I'd already made some arrangements, and since it was so difficult to find a time that worked, I was going to go ahead and go, and he and I could schedule something for a different time. He said he will not babysit 4 kids while I was gone. He included my sister as one of the kids even though she's 20 and is fully capable of taking care of herself and my kids. He said I'm an idiot for ditching him with my kids while I'm off enjoying the vacation that we were supposed to be on together. I told him I hadn't had a break like this since my youngest was born 5 years ago and I deserved it. He said deserve has nothing to do with it when I'm dumping my kids on him and expecting that a 19-year-old will be capable of taking care of 3 kids for a week without a crap load of help. He said if I go on this trip, then he isn't going to help my sister with the kids unless it's an absolute life or death emergency. I told him to step up and act like an adult because it's only 1 week, and when I get back we can start planning our own trip together again. He said that if I go on this trip, then not to bother planning another one. I asked what that meant, and he told me I knew exactly what it meant. He said it's BS that I'm ditching him with other men's kids for a week and thinking that having my sister here for a week will magically make everything easy. I haven't had a break for 5 years and I'm running on fumes. I need this break. My sister can take care of the kids just fine. So am I the idiot? You are the idiot. You're not asking your sister to babysit. You're ditching your boyfriend and leaving him to be with your kids while you vacation with someone else. It sounds like you never discussed any of this with him. He was surprised you're not cancelling, surprised your sister is coming over, and also shocked to hear how he's been volunteering to watch your kids. He has every right to be surprised. Your language shows you're trying to justify this behavior by saying, "I deserve it." I'm inclined to agree with your boyfriend here. You're totally running off and having zero consideration for him. You are the idiot. It seems like you're still making those questionable choices that you claim you only made during your 20s. You're leaving him with other men's kids. You're ruining your relationship with him. You just proved to him that you are more important than him. And you're actually going on the vacation you planned together? I think you're an entitled idiot as well. Any good, decent partner would put the trip on hold for the significant other to attend. You're actually going to leave him high and dry with your kids and your sister so you can go on vacation? LOL, what? Trust him when he says that there will be no others after this. He's telling you the truth, and you're not listening. I, 22 male, have a younger brother, Brian, nearly an adult. Brian was a troublemaker in school, thought himself a class clown or something. He never did his work, so he averaged C's at best on his tests, and was often sent to head offices. He was told last week that he wouldn't be getting accepted back for his 6th year of school and came home raging about it. I live with my parents because I'm a university student and it's cheaper to live with them and get public transport to school. I do help pay some expenses, but I'm mainly focused on my studies. Since he was told this, my parents have been positively babying him, saying he was a good kid and didn't deserve that. Or it was an extreme reaction to some jokes about him being a class clown, and honestly, it's so grating. I don't hate my brother or anything. I know I'm complaining about him a lot, but I'm sick of him having a victim complex over something that he's been warned about since even I went to school. We were at the dinner table last night when I was talking about how my studies were going and some job prospects that were showing up. Brian started to act super sad and said he could never have that now, which led to my parents comforting him again. I guess I was annoyed with it because I said, "Weird of you to complain when you deserved it and knew it was coming." Everyone got quiet for a second before my dad set off and said that if I couldn't respect and show some empathy for my own family, then I should just get out. I left the table and returned to my room, but it's been super tense since, so am I the idiot? Edit. His school falls under a warning system. He was warned multiple times for skipping and disrupting class and not following orders. He was suspended once and got detentions often. I use expelled as a loose term, as the chance of any other high school accepting him at this point is slim. Not the idiot. Your parents babying him certainly isn't doing him any favours. Perhaps rather than saying he deserved it, and I'm not saying he didn't, it's more, instead of feeling sorry for yourself, it's time to accept that these are consequences you were warned about, and you need to accept that you are the only one responsible for your behaviour. It sounds like your folks have this image of him that he's the perfect angel child and is completely undeserving of this, despite all the warning signs. It's sending a bad message to him, blaming the school for warning him rather than teaching him to face the consequences of his actions. I get why you were annoyed at your parents always babying him, especially given you seem to be an excellent student. Maybe you should have brought it up in their presence only without having your brother think you're a heartless idiot. I think you should apologize to him just to relax your home situation, and then confront your parents and only them about it. He's just a kid. Yes, he's young, but he needs to take ownership of the consequences of his actions. And frankly, his parents need to go to that school and learn why he's been rejected. It might open their eyes. Enabling his behavior will make him worse as he gets older, and he'll complain to daddy and mommy when he gets in trouble at work and expects them to solve it. I was supposed to be a bridesmaid in my friend's wedding, but I ended up dropping out because of the bridesmaid dress, and now my friend is really angry with me. When we originally went to look for the dresses, my friend made it clear that she would have the final say, and the bridal party would have to wear what she wanted. She picked a dress I would never have worn in any other circumstance. It has a low V-cut neckline and a high slit, so depending on how you're standing, a lot of skin is on display. I did mention to her that the dress was out of my comfort zone, but she still picked it. I wasn't happy about the dress choice, but I was going to try to suck it up for her sake until I showed my fiancé. He commented about how you could see more of me in that dress than he had seen before. When I asked if he didn't like it, he said it wasn't something he would pick and I looked uncomfortable in it. After we talked about it, I decided to drop out of the wedding party. When I told my friend and explained my reasoning, she was really upset and begged me not to drop out. She sent my fiancé text calling him a controlling idiot and told me she wouldn't come to our wedding because she couldn't support me marrying someone like him. Am I the idiot? You are the idiot. You wouldn't have been the idiot to tell your friend, I'm too uncomfortable to wear that revealing dress. May I alter mine to have a higher neckline and not as deep a slit? If not, I really can't be in the wedding, sorry. Then she would be the idiot if she told you no. Most weddings I've been to have bridesmaids in different dress designs due to pregnancy, religious modesty rules, or whatever. To pin your refusal on your boyfriend's opinion makes him sound like a controlling idiot, and you sound like a doormat. This, OP, you are the idiot. It only takes a few stitches to shorten a slit and alter a neckline. You can also use dress tape to ensure you're covered where you want to be. You just dropped out without trying to compromise and then pinned it on your fiancé. Not the idiot, but I don't think you dropped out because of your fiancé. I think you dropped out because you felt uncomfortable in the dress, and what your fiancé said just spurred you to take the initiative. It's ironic that a woman who wants to put you in a dress you aren't comfortable in claims your fiancé is controlling because she can't get you to do what she wants. Beware of the bride.